brother, baby boy.
Bow, bow.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
I forgot we have to get kind of close to these microphones.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, welcome to Smartly Uneducated, everybody. I'm your host, Ben, and that's Evan.
Hey, the other host, Evan. I'm better known as the other host.
And my co-host.
Sometimes
and
my
vice
voice doesn't
versa.
come across all the time.
Mhm.
It is definitely the other guy, not the guy. And I'm okay with that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Friday edition, another Friday show, huh? We're going to have a good one. We're going to make it good. Sometimes they're bad. I know last week we talked about bad movies and jarble like that, but we're going to talk about aliens this time. A little UFO mumbo jumbo. Get into the nitty gritty because I know everybody out there is curious about aliens in the most recent times because of 3i Atlas. Everybody is like on edge as of recently. Everybody is worried and frightened. So we're going to go back and we're going to tell some stories about the UFOs that we found inside of some of these books we've been reading, inside of different things and knowledge that we have over UFOs over the years that we've been doing this. So if you're uninterested in that, sorry, we'll see you guys next week. But if you're interested,
Yeah.
stick around because we're still going to have laughs, gaffs, and baths.
That was a mouthful.
Again, it's Friday. It's a beautiful day here in the deep heart of Texas. Stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
buddy. I got in a car
Yeah.
accident recently, and I got a rental car, and I've been jamming country music in this Jeep because this Jeep makes me feel like I need to be kicking shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like I need to be boot scooting and boogieing, Brooks and Dunham style.
Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
But for those of you who are joining us today, did y'all see the Northern Lights? Please leave a comment. Reach out to us if y'all saw the Northern Lights that were all over the United States recently. Those things were gorgeous.
Did you see him at your place?
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't.
So we were up at the farm, and you can look to the sky, and they weren't like...
It almost looked like a purple haze.
Yes, exactly. So it wasn't like green and blue and white like a lot of people in the northern parts of America were receiving. But for my little heart of Texas here, we were able to see a like
Purple hue.
like a purple red like haze in the sky.
Yeah, I did see
It
that.
reminded
one
me
night.
of War of the Worlds a lot. It was very eerie to look
where
into
it's
the sky.
spraying the blood for fertilizer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, terraforming, dude.
Yeah, it was very interesting to look at. I wasn't sure what it is. We were just sort of sitting outside, like burning stuff and hanging out outside. And I saw, well, Tina pointed out, she's like, look at that. What the hell is that in the sky? Why is it red?
Why is it red?
And I was like, you're seeing stuff. What are you talking about? She's like, no, seriously, come look at this. So I look at
Yeah.
the sky, and then we looked it up on the internet. We're like, oh, it's just Northern Lights. That's interesting. Turns out there was a humongous corona that ejected from the sun and caused the Northern Lights here in the northern part of America. And I say that as a deep southerner.
I say that as a deep southerner.
Born and raised in the good old state of Texas, but the northern part of America. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? In other news, did you like that?
I did like it.
Did you like that?
I liked it.
In other news,
In other news, dude.
Jeff Bezos' company, Blue Origin, they landed a rocket just the other day. This thing was sweet to watch, dude. It came out of the sky and it landed and it was hovering above the ocean and it moved like 200, 300 meters to the left, just hovering directly in one direction to then land on a platform in the ocean and then bolt itself to the ground so it didn't fall over. It was awesome to see.
Yeah.
And I have become a big fan of the space race over the past few years. The space race before was the first one to the moon, which we are kind of under the impression we never actually made it there. But
Just not with what we thought was our technology.
with whose technology? The UFOs, the aliens.
Yeah, dude. The secret stuff.
But with the ever advancing technology that we have now, and the proponent and the future prospects of what we are to becoming in the future 100 years of human society, it's very cool to be a part of the space race right now. It's like the baby steps to intergalactic beings. It's fun to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Granted, I won't be alive to experience it, but it's cool to watch it in its infancy.
Listen, all I gotta say is while you're getting all fascinated, and I'm sure other people are getting fascinated by watching the Bezos do what he did with that rocket engine which was Elon Musk had already done that with SpaceX, but this is the second company to ever do it.
Yeah,
Which is a big deal. While everyone's freaking out about that, man, you got 3-Eye Atlas rolling around out there going chimps.
exactly. Well, apparently it broke up into 3 different pieces.
It's not. See, it's not a spaceship. It's multiple spaceships. But no one can prove it's wrong. It's multiple. Ask the internet. They
well,
wouldn't lie
if
to you.
anybody, if anyone's ever seen any sort of animal in the wild, like a starfish or a perhaps
they lay eggs.
the centipede of some sort, they multiply. You cut them in half, another one grows. Maybe it's just like one giant piece was traveling, and then now it's like the base stays up in the sky, the mothership, and then the other ones separate.
It's a cosmopede.
It's a cosmofish.
Why would it be a fish?
Because
You're trying to say the space is really the ocean?
well, because
That's what people say too. in some
space has
circles.
waves, dude. Gravitational waves, dude.
I want to ride some of those. Oh wait, we are.
Well, let's surf those waves, dude.
I'm
Let's
surfing.
hop on our space surfboards, brother, and go surfing through the stars, dude. That's
Man.
that's my impression of somebody, but I forget who the guy's name
You
is.
did a good job.
I'm
here
of
for
being
it.
an impression of somebody we don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. we're gonna go surfing on those intergalactic waves, dude. We're gonna go see the aliens surfing amongst the stars. We're gonna go
Yeah,
visit
dude.
Jupiter, Saturn.
No, dude, we're going to Pluto, see them 3-titted aliens.
We don't want to go to Pluto no more. We want to go to Orion's belt, brother. That's where the Andromeda galaxy is. Isn't
Wait.
it?
So you're saying you're passing up going and seeing some
Potential.
potentially attractive 3-titted aliens to go to a place that's named after a dude?
Well, a
Holy
belt, dude.
shit. Pluto's named after a dude too.
Also a dog.
Apparently, Orion's belt, that's 3 times the chances of
Seeing space dong? What are you talking about?
space boobs.
Oh.
Watch them be like their own entities with like a conscious of their own. They're like tentacles and they're like crane.
What if Orion-
start the reactor? I'd be like, kill it.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtle brain sentiency
That
is
is
coming
the
alive.
only time you'll ever hear me go, they need to get transitioned.
Oh. I don't like that the camera was on me for that.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize that.
Say it again with you on the camera.
Dude, I'm not going to repeat what you said. Like, what are we
How
talking
dare you,
about here?
Evan? Why would you say something like that? So crass.
Yeah, so crass, dude. So crass.
Did you?
It must be grass.
In other news,
Mhm.
did you happen to see Gavin Newsom's ex-aide get arrested for funneling government-granted money?
Yep, I did.
Yeah,
It was good.
I'm a big fan of seeing government officials get what's coming to them. It can be any
She
sort
was
of
just a fall person. It was really
oh,
news.
most definitely.
You know,
The aide isn't like, yes, let's go steal the money from the government, huh?
I mean, that's what they're. I mean, I've seen what political aides and officials they have in California. They all would be conniving like that.
I mean, the one that doesn't want to walk for health.
Yeah, that one. But then all the rest of them.
I
too.
mean,
But the one that doesn't want to walk for health. Would you fly?
well, you're gonna get
You
a
know?
stroller. You can get pushed around in a baby cart or one of those.
Who's gonna push that giant rock?
robot, dude? Have you seen these Neo robots?
I have. They're not ready for that task yet, dude. That's like 50 years. They're 50 years behind the curve.
Speaking of these robots,
Just saying.
Speaking of these robots, before we get into the UFOs and stuff,
There's probably robots with you.
3 have been released so far. You had, I think it was Sweden that did the Neo X1.
Yeah.
And then you had Russia's X-Ping. That one looks,
Is that a person?
no.
I've heard that name.
How would you say it?
X-Ping. X-Ping!
Oh, no.
X-Ping!
Oh, no. Why is the camera on me?
Ah.
No. This is Evan. I'm not doing these impressions.
This is a Godzilla movie from 1945. His voice is delayed with his mouth. That was me doing that just now. Fooled you. I'm intentionally keeping the camera.
I know you
on.
are.
My bad.
Yeah, so we have those 3 robots. So you have the Neo
Yeah.
X1, you have the XP, and then you have Russia's that just released just the other day. And Neo's got a lot of flack because it was controlled third-party virtual reality by Indians. So if you bought one, you had an Indian man in your house. doing all your dishes and stuff. The X-Ping, people were like, that's a human inside of there. So they like undressed the robot and showed all the mechanics.
What are these robots called?
The first one is Neo X1.
No. I'm saying like the narratively speaking, like generically.
Humanoid robots.
Okay. Sorry.
Also Tesla released another footage of theirs, but we all know that that's not going to happen for a while. And then you have the X-Ping, which was awesome. That one was super humanoid, realistic, and was actually doing tasks on its own. And then you had the Russian one, and it took 5 steps at its presentation and fell flat on its face and broke. And they just threw a carpet over, like a blanket over it to hide it as it was trying to get back up.
Damn.
It failed miserably. It was running only on vodka.
What?
That's a joke. I'm telling a joke.
No way.
I'm telling a joke here.
No, I was hoping it would be true.
Hey, so I had to go get an MRI.
I had to pull up the figure 3, right?
Huh?
Is that the one you were talking about?
Is that? No, we have Neo X1, which is the Switzerland one that people were flaming because it had virtual
I was trying
reality
to pull them up
assistance.
in front of me, and
then you have
gave me the wrong-
X-Pang. You have X-Pang, which is the Chinese one, and I can't think of the one that's a Russian name. I can't think of that one's name.
Yeah.
But the Russian one failed miserably. The first Neo X1 failed miserably, and then the X-Pang, people are like, this one's really cool. What can it do? But they won't release any sort of data on what it can do yet. In other news, I got an MRI the other day. I'm going to tell you a story about this. I've never had an MRI. I've never had any sort of medical examination in my entire life. I want your attention for this one.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening fully.
I've never had any. I've never had any sort of medical examination. I've never been to the hospital for any sort of my needs or any sort of medical other than teeth being pulled for braces and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tell my nurse, the 5'1" Indian woman, she's very nice, and I was like, I've never done anything like this before. I'm very nervous. I have this irrational fear of metal being ripped out of my body inside of an MRI.
That's tight.
It would not be tight. It would be really bad.
Like what happens to Wolverine with Magneto, dude, when he rips the adamantium.
Oh, exactly right.
Magneto's the fucking MRI machine.
That's
dude.
my fear. That's my absolute fear. And now let's keep in mind, I've never had any medical surgeries. I've never had metal put inside of me, ever. And so my nurse asked me, she's like, have you ever had any stents, any medical? Have you ever been shot by a bullet? Do you have any BBs in your body? And I was like, I have no idea.
But you got me freaking out. Dude.
I know my anxiety skyrocketed. I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
No clue.
Now I don't know. I truly, like, my brain's blanking. I have no idea. So I told the lady, no, I don't. So she leads me down this long hallway to my MRI room. And I'm thinking I'm going to walk into like a Terminator style room where it's going to be all white walls and it's going to be really intimidating laying down in this MRI machine. And she opens the door. And inside this tiny room with just the MRI machine, on the walls were painted like pretty butterflies and fish and happy little rainbows and trees and all this really childish stuff.
Did it calm you down?
No. I was afraid I was going to be Epstein in there.
That's facts.
But it made my brain think, oh, if children can do this, I can do this no problem. But so I'm laying down in the MRI machine, right? And it's like, whoa, 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 wee, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. And I had this epiphany while I was laying in there. I want to start a business. And I want it to be MRI medical based specifically. And I want it to be gender specific rooms. So you can request the women's room, the nothing room, or the men's room. And in the men's room, you're going to have like a beer tower. You're going to have sports all over the walls.
You're not supposed to drink, though, before you do it, though.
You're going to have fat heads on the walls like Tom Brady and
can't
stuff.
you, like, not drink, like, 24 hours prior?
No. I had a full-ass, like, steak meal before I went in there.
No, I'm talking about, like, drink alcohol.
I don't know. I did.
No wonder they looked at it and go,
this dude's fucked.
Well, we figured out your problem. And the problem is, whisper. You're retarded.
I did not drink beforehand. That was a joke. But I definitely ate beforehand. But I want to do like gender specific rooms. Like inside the men's room, it has like a sports TV. In the MRI, that's has no
Hell
metal
yeah.
to get. So
That'd be tight.
You can watch sports while you're getting work done, and then the girls' room's all pink and fluffy and soft.
You have to up the ante. You need to make what you should do is invest in like either some badass gaming laptops or just like a string of badass towers that are capable of running arc raiders at minimum 120 FPS, epic, level graphics just maxed out.
So I can be in the MRI machine gaming.
No, that way you can like go to your happy place, go pillage for a little bit.
Go pillage. That's your happy place.
Yeah,
is
while you're
pillaging?
able to pour your own like beer or whatever, or they have an assistant who's in there who always keeps you freshly topped off.
What all I want is
You
a
know?
tube going into my mouth that I can just suck on that has beer coming out of it. Just like a straw.
Yeah,
dude.
you would want a tube in your mouth.
Hey, I'm not Donald Trump and Bubba, all right?
Bubba. I gotta say, Bubba.
Hey, ask Putin if he has the photos of Trump's blowing Bubba.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, so
Yeah, Putin, send this to us. Send it to us.
No, I don't want to see that. But send it.
Okay.
Go ahead. So go ahead, send it.
That's what everyone says, and then they watch
Ben-
Two Girls, One Cup, and then they have to look up at least one more fucked up video.
Ben, why
before they
would
give
you?
up.
Why would you say that? Why would you go ahead and say, "Go ahead and send us this raunchy stuff"? Why would you do that? But
There was a thing.
hey,
in the,
go ahead, do that.
there was a
Go ahead
thing in
and
the
send it
past
over.
where we were telling people to, send all the dick pics to you.
I know. I was really upset about all that.
We got like 5.
No,
Oh, sorry, it was like 20. Like
it was very
18.
upsetting. I was very, very deeply upset about that. But hey, anyway,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
they're all reported to the FBI,
What? Oh,
and
we did?
I did.
Oh, I
And
wasn't part of it.
One of them was
I'm-
yours.
I ain't no fucking snitch, dude.
One of those dicks were yours,
Right.
dude. They gave me all the names.
It's because you asked. That's a private message, dude.
How
That's
dare
not
you?
even a fucking email. I would never send it over email. Come on.
Hey, dude, what's your dick look like?
Come on. You know I would embed it in something else to when you clicked on something that you're watching, all of a sudden, bam, it's kind of like, it's kind of like Fight Club. Instead of one frame, it's all the frames constantly.
It's just every frame.
It's every frame. And it gets less pixelated every time because it slowly upscales the resolution more and more so you can see real fucking detail.
But that's my MRI story.
I can't believe you had to freak out. I mean, I don't blame you.
I've never had any medical anything ever.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, never had to go to the hospital for anything.
We need
Never-
to make you a new bucket list, dude.
No, I don't like that bucket list.
What? You got to live life on the edge a little
Break an arm, go get surgery.
bit. Yeah, well, get something metal put in your body.
So that I do have this happen to me next time I get an MRI.
Well, what if they fuck up and switch you with like the person who's secretly there to get worked on to become the new Bionic Man? And you're like
Where's-
basically like a Terminator who's,
Where's the metal piece going?
let's just say it's extendable and girthable.
So my belly button?
No, I knew you had an Audi.
Dude, I have an innie and it's like 2 inches deep, dude.
That's the fifth hole. Wait. Yeah, that's the fifth hole. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Why does it keep switching on you?
The camera just stays on me all this entire episode. Everybody, look at me. Hey, how you doing? Get this big ass hat on.
Yeah.
I should have worn my. I look like early 2000s Rivers Como with this hat on.
You almost look like you're what's his face from Wayne's World. I forgot his name.
Garth.
Yeah, but he's trying to be like undercover, so it's like he's, you know what I mean? You almost look like Garth a little
Hey
bit.
man.
Right now. You do the facial expression.
Hey man, you don't want to do that. That's a bad impression, but hey. Anyway,
Oh man,
I'm not here to do impressions anymore, but I'll do them if you want me to.
Where did the thingy go? Where'd it go? I was looking for the thingy.
He found the thingy.
Anyways, so UFOs, dude. I got a UFO. So all the UFOs that we're going to talk about have all come out of 2 different books, 2 different locations. One is Inside the Black Vault. I've had
Yeah.
these books a long time.
Yeah.
And I know you know that. And then the other one is the CIA UFO Papers by Dan Wright. Now, everything inside the Black Vault, which will tell you which cases we're talking about.
Yep.
And I wanted to dial back because I'm so sick of the current UFO and alien talk because it's like, man, where'd we lose our way? This shit was cool and interesting, and now it's all about spiritual awakening and blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, if I wanted that, I'd go to church.
Yeah, well, yeah, or I'd go.
I'm
to
not
a,
here for
a
that.
Buddhist temple.
I'm
or
here
something.
for finding out that there's aliens that have stumbled upon our planet, and they are organic to some degree, and they have tech that's cool.
Pretty much.
And they do weird and odd shit to cows.
I th-
Like, and the Men in Black shit. You know what I mean? Like, I like classic UFO stuff.
Me too.
Everyone, I'm sorry, I'm almost 100% convinced now that is just one giant psyop that happened. And because there was too many people getting too close to the narrative, to the real
To
truth.
the truth.
And all of a sudden, boom, the beings of light. Now, no one gives a fuck about the tech as much anymore because it's all like, oh no, it's this and this and that. It's not real, but it is real. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
That's a fair argument, I suppose.
It's like, no, I feel like it's a big giant psyop because people were finding it getting way too fucking close.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. And I don't care who believes me or who does. It's just, that's what I think.
I mean, with all the different disclosure individuals that are coming out talking about it, they're just muddying the water, as we've talked about many times, right?
Listen, if they make it a movie, you have to go pay for it to go see, and they all sit there and it puts a movie soundtrack on there, so it's like gives the emotional responses. It's fake.
Yeah.
Like the Age of Disclosure with Jeremy Corbell. I used to like Jeremy Corbell, but then after I saw that interview that's in the disclosure coming out, and he like says, he's like, what I'm going to tell you is the biggest lie. You're going to be sold a lie. And then he goes and looks down and it plays the sad, intense music. And I was like, you fucking liar.
Yeah.
Look at you cash cowing in. You're all fucking sellouts.
Yeah.
Liars. Anyone who's doing it for a fuckload of money, bullshit. I'm sorry. All the real G's, they're all dead because they got offed for whistleblowing, which are the classic ones. I trust the ones that aren't breathing anymore because they actually said something that was true.
Or they were so old,
or like Bob Lazar, where he didn't make a single fucking dime.
Well, that and the fact that some of these stories are back in the 50s and 60s where information wasn't so readily available, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I find myself being drawn to because I find that stuff far more valuable and interesting.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot more to lose. Their notoriety, their clout, if you will. Nowadays, everybody is trying to chase that clout, trying to be seen and visible and known in the space.
Yep.
The individuals who are like, hey, I saw this. This is what happened. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Big fan of that stuff.
Or like the ones that actually did see like short 3 human-like figures, like, you know, talking about like basically little green men type things. And the accounts that have happened with those, like, I buy those more than I do any of the shit now. At first, I was falling for it, dude. I was starting to fall for it. But then I started to, like, just, like, take a step back and just listen to the echo chambers that were happening. And all the bots pushing the same bullshit over and over. I'm like, yeah, this is orchestrated. This is fake. It's fake.
Yes, it is.
Just like space.
Space is real, dude. How do you explain?
No, it's space is fake. Dinosaurs aren't real, and the Earth is flat.
How do you explain? How do you explain meteorites, dude?
Dude, that's just some entity hawking a loogie, dude.
Oh, so where did it come from, brother?
The cave dragons, you know.
Where did it come from? The ocean?
Probably. What if we're just?
Or did it come from space? Dude?
What if we're just in like basically like a tres leche cake? You know what I mean?
Delicious.
Imagine the layers. Each layer is divided by an ocean of icing.
Can it be tiramisu?
Space is icing. What if fish, in their perspective, down in the ocean, when they look up and see above the water, that's space to them?
Yeah, it is. It is
vice versa. It's all about the perspective, and so it just moves up into our understanding with our anatomy. It looks like space when really it's fucking water, dude. Space water.
Dude, space water, brother.
Yeah, dude. I wonder what the pH level's like on that.
It's perfectly balanced.
It's cosmically balanced. A little dust on there, too.
Just like everything should be.
Yeah, dude. But have you heard of the Levelland UFO Incident?
Honestly, no, I haven't.
So this one is from you can find on the Black Vault, and I actually have the document up here, and I will be showing you guys the documents and throwing it into our Kick chat as well, so you guys have it. Let me just chat. There we go. And no, I'm not. I'm going to go to this one. There we go. This is the link to the document I'm about to show you guys. But, so let me just pop it up here. So, well, before I do, basically, the summary of this is that between 10:50 p.m. on November 2nd and 1:30 a.m. on November 3rd, 1957, so over the span of basically like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, multiple independent witnesses across an area of roughly 20 miles around Levelland, Texas, reported encounters with a large, brightly lit object that caused vehicles' engines to shut down, headlights to go dark, and electrical systems to fail. The sightings came from farmers, truck drivers, motorists, and law enforcement officers, many of whom did not know each other, and reported events from completely different locations. Now, Project Blue Book ultimately logged roughly 15 separate witnesses 15 separate witnesses, but outside investigators believe the number was significantly higher. Third-party investigators, because they were coming across people that were like, no, I reported this, and they just ignored it.
Gotcha.
Type thing.
So this was, I'm reading the report here, the record card.
I'm going to put it on there then.
You see on the right side where it says conclusions, number 12, it says was balloon, probably balloon, possibly balloon, was war aircraft. You see
lightning.
Other ball lightning.
Yeah.
Now, this phenomenon of ball lightning has been a common occurrence in the UFO and alien realm for a few dozen years now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to believe that a ball lightning just sort of exists. Now, granted, there is scientific data to back it up, but scientific data can be made up, and scientific data can be doctored to prove a specific point, right?
Yeah.
So ball lightning, as the phenomenon is a orb of plasma that just sort of floats across a plane.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is ball lightning in itself, to me, determines some sort of spectrum of intergalacticness. It is not necessarily a common phenomenon that you're going to see. It is incredibly rare.
Yeah.
And could you imagine, what year was this in?
It was 1957.
Could you imagine in 1957 seeing a ball of lightning scoot across the ground?
Well, the thing is, it's interesting because in the actual official document, it says ball of lightning, ball lightning or whatever. But all the reports, because there's like the testimonies are in this document. I mean, there's quite a lot of pages. Let me just show you how many freaking pages there are, dude. These are page breaks. We're not even a quarter down the scroll bar yet, guys. There is a ton of documents. Like, these are all testimonies, all that stuff.
What kind of language? Was that Sanskrit? What was that?
I don't know, dude, but someone back when people wrote with character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you couldn't read it. That was the original Morse code.
Cursive.
Dude, they sent anyone back in time from our generation, or not our generation, but the current generation to go, hey, we need you to go and confirm that someone said this to this
Some
person
Gen Z stuff
before they ever had the internet. And then all of a sudden, when they come back through the little time portal, because they're on a timer, they're like, what did it say? I don't know. I couldn't read it.
It was in another language.
It was in another type of cryptography I've never seen before. That's essentially what would have happened.
I mean, cursive can be difficult to read, especially if you've never been taught how to read it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just cracking jokes over here.
But
let's read the actual statement from the very top of it.
Yep. So let me switch it back over to Edge.
So the brief summary of sighting. This case triggered off more than 300 similar described reports with a what does that say? B-day? B-day period? 8-day period? 6-day period?
Yeah, 6-day period.
6-day period because of
I can't read that.
It's got to be 6,
Oh, I think
right?
it's 0 because it lasted for 3 hours.
Oh, length of observation, 3 seconds and 4 minutes.
3 seconds to 4 minutes.
I gotcha.
Yeah. 3 seconds to 4. So basically, out of all the cases, some people got to witness it for 2 minutes, some got to witness it up to 4 minutes, and then some people witnessed it for only like a brief.
Damn, am
few
I
seconds.
dumb? I can't read worth nothing, huh?
Dude, it's got words.
So again, it said this case triggered off more than 300 similarly described reports within a 0-day period because of the nationwide publicity and sensationalism given by the press, radio, and TV. Oval or round-shaped object, generally bluish-white or greenish-white in color. The size and maneuvers of the object varied with different 6 observers, which ranged in the size of a basketball to 800 feet in the length. That is a drastic change in size.
Yeah.
A basketball to 800 feet.
It makes you wonder, like, how far were they from the object?
Or which perspective were they at? Are they head on, side of it?
Yeah, because it's like if you're seeing it from the side, maybe it's more elongated behind it.
Exactly
or
right.
You're looking at the head, it's just seeing the spearhead.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that would make sense because depending on the perspective.
800 feet is super long, bro.
Yeah.
What is 800 feet long besides my dick?
Your cholesterol. But no, like this document, like it's a very long document. So I just wanted to show where we got the information from, and I've got all the other information here in front of me. But basically, so at 10:50 p.m., this is the very first encounter. Pedro Salcedo and Joe Salaz were driving outside Levelland when they saw a bluish-green torpedo-shaped object land on the road ahead of them. Oh, no, the testimonies are juicy. It's not just seeing something in the sky. They were seeing this thing like it was a craft.
Oh, but before you continue, 800 feet long is 60 to 65-story building.
Yeah.
That's enormous, dude.
Yeah, because, like, think about it like this. A football field is 100 yards.
It's roughly 2.5 football fields.
Yeah, let's say, because 100 yards.
Dude, that is enormous.
That turns into 300 feet. So if it's 800, it's just shy of 3 football fields long.
Yeah.
But, so Salcedo and Salaz were driving outside Levelland when they saw a bluish-green torpedo-shaped object land on the road ahead of them. They saw this thing land on the fucking road. As the object approached, their truck engine completely died. Just full dead.
X-Files shit.
And the headlights, it literally like zapped all the power out of the truck. It killed the engine. But you have to remember something too. This is before cars had all the electrical shit in them.
Yeah.
So the fact that it made the truck shut off.
The combustion.
A combustion engine to shut off. That's not running because of the electricity. Like, it's not dependent on it like the newer cars. If you fried the ECM when you're driving, it's going to die. The fact that the truck engine died. And then headlights went dark. Like, it's nuked everything. That's, dude, I don't even have words for that. That's fucking weird. But
yeah, I don't know.
They reported intense heat as the object either, they said it when it was hovering or sat on the road. It was like they felt tons of heat coming off of it. And then it suddenly lifted vertically and shot into the sky. And then the truck's electrical systems immediately came back on. The headlights turned back on. And they were able to start their truck.
I'm at a loss of words for that because I couldn't imagine sitting on a road.
It has to do with magnetism.
It would have to. It would have to.
It's fucking up currents, any kind of electrical currents that are within a vicinity of it.
Yeah.
Maybe by intentional design.
Or if it's plasma based, it just sucks up all energy.
Yeah. That would, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Because okay, well, hold on. If plasma is sentient, does that mean the sun is sentient?
Think so, dude. Look at the Nuremberg incident, dude. Or event.
I'm getting off topic now, but
yeah, dude. Polygons coming out of the sun, dude. It's a portal.
The sun's like, hey, Earth, here's some good energy, dude.
Here's some good energy. Oh, no, the energy's fighting themselves. And that's how dark matter was created. But no, so now, 11 to 11:30 p.m., we're talking multiple motorists report the same malfunction. Within 30 minutes of the first report, additional calls came in from over the area of a 20-mile radius.
Wow.
Random. None of these people really knew each other. But it said that a motorist described a brilliant egg-shaped light sitting on the highway.
Where is Levelland?
Down here in Texas with us. But when he approached within a few hundred feet, when some of the people approached within a few hundred feet of it, any car engine, if they're in a car, would just sputter and die. And then when the light lifted off, cars would restart on their own. The motorcycles would restart on their own.
So Levelland, Texas is about, I would give it about an hour outside of Lubbock. It's in the Panhandle near the desert area. So that probably explains why they considered it ball lightning, because of the Marfa lights, right?
Yeah.
So it is in the desert area where a lot of electromagnetism energy is infected.
What a convenient place for an object to come down and hover and
know.
even land
I know.
and cause things to die.
It's a nobody town.
Especially if you're testing out technology or it's not our technology at all.
Yeah.
I mean, either or, it doesn't really matter. That's a perfect cover because people would just chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
Like immediately and try to dismiss and dissuade it.
Again, it's a nobody town. It's a deserted town.
Yeah. And the thing is, all callers reported the same pattern. Object visible on or near the road.
Oh, man.
Always on or near the road. Not just off in a field or in the desert somewhere away from the roads. Always on some type of roadway. Electric failure. The object departs, and then the power just restores automatically. That's what happened. That's the commonality that was what's being reported between all these random multiple calls.
I couldn't.
Within 30 minutes after the first encounter, the first call that.
And there's 300 witnesses.
There's a lot.
This happened. This happened.
Yeah, dude. This
definitely happened.
They tried to narrow it down in Blue Book and say it was only like 15.
No.
No, there's way more. This document proves that. Because this is unfiltered. This is just what it was from back then.
Dude.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine me driving on a country road and then suddenly my car turns off and then a enormous 60-story building beam of energy surges across the highway I'm on.
Yeah.
In utter pitch black darkness. That sounds horrifying. Honestly, kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
I would be daunted and at a loss for words for it to happen to me, but I would love for it to happen to me.
Well, this is the next part gets interesting. It gets more. It just keeps continuing piling on. So at 11:45 p.m., a traveling couple. So there was a couple that was traveling. They were from out of town.
As opposed to
No, they weren't locals. They were from out of town. They were just driving through. They were in the middle of basically a road trip.
Probably headed to Lubbock.
Yep. And probably. And they were on this road trip or whatever. They were there when this happened because what happened was they were driving near the small community of Witherall. Community of Witherall said a bright oval craft rose from a field and passed over their car. But it wasn't. This is one of the reports that also came in. This one came in roughly not even 45 minutes after the very first initial one. This one was a little bit different because in each of these, it's like it's changing its form, if that makes sense.
It does.
It doesn't fully change it, but it goes. It's weird because it says that it was a oval shaped craft. So it's before it powers up whatever it's using. It's in its just idle stage.
Yeah.
And it's an oval-shaped craft rose from a field and passed over their car. And what happened was the engine stalled out, the radio cut out, their interior lights just flickered like crazy, on and off, going super dim, the wattage was being reduced to it. And then once the craft had passed completely over, everything just came back and was completely back to normal, and they were able to start their car.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm. There's another one that happens 20 minutes later.
Oh, please tell me.
So at 12:05 a.m., this is the one that a rancher reported, and apparently he was some well-known rancher in the community in the area, said he approached a large glowing object on the highway that he described as sun-bright but not blinding.
Oh, so he approached it.
Yeah, he was driving, and it was on the highway.
Still.
Yeah, it was just landed on the highway, and it was as bright as the sun, but it wasn't blind. You could like look through the light. That's the same shit that we hear about where you can, and also in UFO cases, me and you have talked about that we've gotten to witness, where you see it like zooming out this massive amount of light, but yet it doesn't, you can see it though. It's like you can see through the light. It's like
It's
an
not
ambience.
painful.
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It doesn't.
I was going to bring that up because there's been a lot of talk over the years, over the past almost 100 years now, of light that is so bright, it's as if day has.
That's just me when I walk into a room, dude.
Here I am. That's my theme song, not yours.
Thank you like a hurricane.
Wait, is that the Down syndrome version?
Breakfast. Sorry.
But yeah, there's been multiple cases that describe a bright, blinding light that isn't painful to look at. So it sounds like this is another one of those instances of a being or a entity that is effectively trying to maneuver or move or do something.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tickle your fancy a little bit. I'm going to
Tickle away,
I'm going to
dude.
bring you on
Tickle
a little
away.
journey. So the reason why I went into the rancher one, about this rancher, because this is a two-parter with his because he calls the sheriff, and the sheriff actually goes and looks for this object.
Oh.
Finds it. So, but what happened was is that he said it was sun bright but not blind, the rancher did. And he said his truck fully died just immediately. The object stayed for several seconds and then ascended straight up without a sound.
What?
Yep. And he said that it looked like the sun. So like he's describing like basically like a white light now, like a whitish or yellow or orange.
Sounds activated.
Yeah. It just ascended straight up without a sound. And then he literally turned his truck around or something like that. And he went straight back to where he was, where he came from, and called the sheriff immediately, which he was just he was like just down the road from his home. Like he was
The small town vibe,
Yeah.
right?
He immediately went and found a phone basically and called the sheriff. 12:15 a.m. So that happened
10 minutes later.
Yeah, 10 minutes later. The sheriff spots, the sheriff's deputy does. So Deputy Patrolman Fowler began logging the flood of calls. He spoke with Sheriff Werklem, who decided to investigate personally. And what was it? Sheriff Clem and Deputy McCullough were driving southwest. Sorry, the sheriff was, they were both there. Southwest of Levelland, when they saw a brilliantly lit oval object sitting either on the road or low above it. So it was either sitting or it was just slightly hovering above it. That's how low it was to the ground. They said that they estimated it to be roughly 200 feet long from the perspective that they saw it. 200 feet. They said it was extremely bright white.
That's close.
And then, or bluish light, like where it was like kind of like giving that bluish kind of ambiance light of it. Like, you know how I'm talking about where you look at a white light that's so white? It's kind of like with these Elgato ring lights we have. If I turn it all the way to natural lighting, like the bright natural lighting, it almost gives like a bluish hue ambiance. That's essentially what they're talking about. No sound, no visible windows or structure. They couldn't, it was just an oval shaped thing.
Dude, that's crazy.
They said as they approached, they got overwhelming static on all of their radios. So the radio, then we're talking about police radios that they had. Not everybody had those in their vehicles. Like I'm talking about like all the other witnesses because they weren't police, but they had their actual radios, and it was just like insane static started coming through. And then what was it? Yeah, overwhelmed static through their radio. The car engine started to sputter, but it didn't fully die, unlike the earlier motors. I think it's because they weren't close enough to it.
Gotcha.
That's what I was reading, because the way they described, like when they were approaching it, everyone else's testimony that's documented in this document, these people were way closer to this thing. They were approaching it. They just spotted it, and they were like heading towards it. And yeah, so it sputtered and all that stuff. The object rose vertically at high speed with instant acceleration and disappeared into the cloud cover. No noise. Instant acceleration. We're talking, the way they describe it is essentially, now we're not talking like a drag strip launching off the, when the light turns green.
There's no momentum.
It's Like they went, it not like that fast, but it was like, you get what I'm saying? Like it just like zoomed its way up, like as if there was nothing withholding it.
Just jumped.
Yeah. Sheriff Clem later admitted privately, which then went on record he told this to the FBI. Bro.
That's badass.
He went back on record. He went on record and said he believed the witnesses were all telling the truth. Yep. And that's from the sheriff, dude. You got to trust that old town sheriff.
Yes, you do.
1:30 a.m., the final report of the night. And there's so many reports. We're talking like I was just picking out the kind of key highlight ones. But there were so many different reports. Some were saying that it looked like there was one in there that it doesn't say cylinder, but the way they described it, it's like almost like a cylinder. And they were saying that it was so long they would have to guess. I forgot how many feet they said, but it's essentially like 2 or 3 football fields. So that's where the number comes from of 800 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was numerous people who said like 800 feet because they were saying they were looking at where the trees were, like the trees that they know how far away from them are because they know that
They live out there their whole life, right?
And they look and they see it and they go, oh, well, this thing is literally like right in front of that. Like I can see it. It's right in front of it. And from me to there, that's like 800 feet.
Yeah.
Like it's that distance or whatever. But so a truck driver traveling north of Levelland reported seeing a glowing object similar to earlier descriptions. His engine shut down completely. When the object left, the truck started immediately.
Huh.
Now, this is like pretty much like the, you can just call it the immediate aftermath of all this. Local law enforcement say the witnesses appeared genuinely frightened and consistent in their descriptions. Everyone called fucking scared shitless, essentially. The sightings covered a 2 to 3 hour period, making misidentification unlikely. The Air Force dispatched an investigator the next day. Bring in Alan Hynek.
Okay. Who's this guy?
Project Blue Book.
Oh.
He's the one who ran it. He also has a like an autobiography that he made right before he died. That I don't even remember if it came out before. I think it came out after he died. It was something he wrote up.
We should talk about that sometime.
Oh yeah, no, he openly said that. Like he's like, no, a lot of these cases, I was told to go out there to disprove it. He openly admits it, and then he said on some of them, he's like you know, like basically like his standpoint, it really seemed like he was saying, I was sent out to dismiss it because it's like shit we're fucking with, you know, like the military and all that crap, like off the book. But potentially, he was saying that there was many cases that there was no fucking explanation, and it was so credible that he was like, "No, I believe that we are being visited by either don't quote me, but there's somewhere in there where he basically alludes to either a breakaway civilization or actual just extraterrestrials."
Well, I imagine as his job was to play devil's advocate, saying like, let's debunk these individuals' ideas. This stuff didn't happen. There's no way this happened.
Yeah.
Prove that this happened.
Yeah.
And if you have multiple corroborators for one story saying the same thing over and over again, it probably happened.
Well, I want to give you a little thing because at the beginning on the document, it says ball lightning.
Yes.
That was put there by Project Blue Book.
Really?
That's a document from Blue Book.
Yes.
Well, get this. So they put ball lightning on there because that's a page from there. All the other documents within this are the actual testimonies that they gathered, right? Well, here's the problem. Well, the ball lightning that they know to occur only occurs under certain conditions.
Yes, it does.
Or electrical storms. Well, the thing was that night, during all the encounters, crystal clear skies, nothing, no bad weather, perfect, beautiful night, no recorded, there was no storms. It was multiple independent vehicle failures every single time. And then the sheriff Clem even was like, I saw it fucking too. It was not some ball lightning.
Well, then I'm glad I brought up that ball lightning concept at the start of this conversation, because it is a massive phenomenon and it has to be under very specific circumstances. And if these individuals are saying that it was a clear, beautiful summer night or whatever type of weather it was, immediately debunks the fact that it's not ball lightning, because it has to be, as you mentioned, an electrical storm for it to even begin to take effect. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. That's such a cool story. Holy cow.
I know. And it gets even better because I have more.
Please.
I got another one. I'm gonna pull this.
The same one?
Yeah. Oh no, this is a different one.
Because there's one in the book that really tickled my fancy. It was the case number 9605 out in New Mexico. That one was really cool. But
Yeah.
let's talk about let's do this one real quick.
Yeah. So this one is the Kecksburg UFO Incident.
Kecksburg?
Yeah. So basically, just to give you a summarization before I throw the document up there for everyone to see, basically on the evening of December 9th, 1965, residents across 6 U.S. states and Ontario, Canada, witnessed a brilliant fireball streaking across the sky. The object appeared to maneuver before descending into a wooded area. They watched this thing maneuver like it was being piloted, like it was trying to avoid things. It literally was being like maneuvered. Before it went descended into a wooded area near the small town of Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Reports quickly came in of a crash or controlled landing in the forest. Local residents, volunteer firefighters, and police officers entered the woods and described seeing a large bronze-colored acorn-shaped object.
Yes. So
Smooth metallic surface, no visible wings, seams, or windows. Strange writings or symbols etched around the base.
So you said Kecksburg, and my brain immediately something triggered in my brain because I know Kecksburg and I have been there. They have a statue of this fucking thing in the middle of their town.
Mhm.
It's enormous, their statue. It's very cool to look at. If you Google Kecksburg, it's Kecks Berg. It's the first thing on their website, on their like Google profile, if you will, is the acorn UFO with all the alien writing on it.
Yeah.
It's there. They have UFO festivals there every year because of it.
Well, I believe it because of what we're about to divulge about the incident. But let me show you guys real quick. This is the document right here.
It looks like a big poop.
Yeah, and it's a super long document. You can't see my scroll bar, but oh my God. I'm not even close to a quarter of the way down.
Good Lord, that's
yet.
another gigantic documentation.
Yeah, it just now started paging the numbers, and we've already gone through like 40 pages. I'm not even a quarter of the way down my scroll bar yet. So, anyways, I wanted to at least show where we got that. And you know what? I'll plop that into the chat here in just a second. But let's talk about this. Because get this. I'm going to set up the stage real quick.
Yeah.
So I said strange writings / symbols were etched all around the base of this acorn shaped object, this bronze-colored acorn-shaped object. Military personnel arrived shortly after, sealed the area, removed civilians, local law enforcement included, and conducted a recovery operation under floodlights where they saw this happen. They were watching. There's other people who watched. There's people who witnessed it.
What?
Yeah, dude. And then on a flatbed truck, the object was reportedly loaded onto a flatbed truck and transported away. NASA later claimed records related to the incident were lost.
Of course.
NASA knows way more than they say.
They let on, right?
It's meant, dude, you had people from JPL got into NASA.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit. We already know that
a lot of them are occult-based.
You know, the Nazi scientist, what's his name?
Eric Traub?
No. The other guy. He came over and helped us with the rockets.
Yes, I know. I can't think of his name, but
I always forget his name.
I know
sometimes.
Eric Traub's the guy who did the chemical warfare in Plum Island.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into this one because this one's juicy.
So I know a little bit about this one because they refer to the writings on it as Egyptian hieroglyphics. That's what it reminds them of.
Yeah. I'm not saying that that's exactly
correct.
What it was.
Correct.
Them, yeah.
That a secret military operation removed it in the dead of night after it landed. This thing this is a very interesting story because
lots of people saw it.
Again, another instance of living in Texas my whole life. I had never heard of the Levelland, Texas crash.
Yep. It's because it was buried.
Driving through Pennsylvania, I heard of this because we just happened to be there at the time.
Well, and just a fun fact to throw out, Alan Hynek also went on record to say in his little book after, he passed away that was released after he died conveniently, I'm pretty positive it released after he died, but it was his stuff. Like he wanted it to release, but he didn't release it
Gotcha.
until, you know,
His demise.
yeah. And basically, there's a lot of UFO cases that are extremely credible that people, the mainstream doesn't even fucking talk about. Like the mainstream UFO community doesn't even fucking talk about.
Yeah.
That they were going out to these places under the guise of Project Blue Book to not just disprove them, but make them go away. Incidents like that, there's a reason why no one's heard of it.
Yeah, because they don't want anybody to hear about it.
They labeled people. That's another. Oh man, I meant to tell this earlier about the Levelland UFO incident, but there were some people who came forward years later talking about how they were harassed and told to never talk about their testimony again.
Oh, that just proves that something happened.
Yeah. Now the problem is, where do you get those fucking documents? I wanted to find those. I was just finding like little excerpts of supposedly like a journal from, this person or that person. So it was, I don't know. I didn't want to provide something that I could not fully corroborate, but I don't not believe it. I believe it, to be honest. But anyways, moving on. So
it's also known as the Great Lakes Fireball too, just so you know.
Yep. Thank you. I don't have to say that part now. That sorry, I was gonna say that at some point. I meant to say it earlier. So this is a chronological report of everything. Everything we're doing is gonna be in a chronological order.
Okay, gotcha.
So 4:45 to 4:50 p.m. fireball sightings across the region. 1,000 people reported. A bright, fiery object traveling low across the sky. Witnesses across Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Ontario described the object as blue-green to orange in color, moving at very high speeds, leaving no debris trails, appearing to change directions, unlike a mirror. It would literally...
Yep.
Like when they say change directions in the testament, they're saying, no, dude, they didn't bank left. They went...
They're trying to course correct.
It was like zigzagging, essentially, like over giant periods because of how fast periods of space because of how fast it was moving.
It reminds me of the Nazi Die Glocke.
Yeah, it does.
A lot.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it even resembles the shape of it.
It does. Just turn it upside down.
Exactly. So, if the Die Glocke is any sort of deemed to reality or realness, this is a prime example of it happening.
Yeah, facts. No, facts. I think there was a lot of shit that got confiscated during World War II.
Yes.
That people don't know
about. And they just tested it and they ended up crash landing in Kecksburg.
But this took place well after World War II.
Yeah, well, of course.
This could just be a more modified version.
Or it could have,
or something completely different.
The Die Glocke time traveler could be a real thing and it just came back from a different time.
Sons of bitches. Why don't you land in my backyard?
I don't want that in my backyard.
If you showed up now, everyone would be like, no, it's AI, it's fake. Yeah, the truth's never coming out now, guys. But no, they said appearing to change direction, all these things. Air traffic control in Pittsburgh also tracked, quote, something of unknown origin descending toward Westmoreland County. They even picked it up on radar.
At 60,000 feet.
Yeah. 60,000 fucking feet. And then it came down real quick.
Yes, it did.
Now, 4:50 p.m., object reported down in woods near, it said object reported down in woods near Kecksburg. So residents in Kecksburg all of a sudden heard a massive impact. Some heard a thud, but they were way far away from it.
Correct.
But everyone felt a series of intense, crazy basically shockwave vibrations going and shook their house and shit, trembling through the ground, everything like that. Some homes that were closer to the impact, like full-on pictures and dishes were like teetering over that were stacked on each other and shit. Oh, yeah, dude, it shook the shit up.
It hit hard.
Yeah, dude, I love hitting hard. But several locals said the object appeared to glide, not fall, as it was giving off a faint bluish glow when it came to rest in the forest.
So one thing you failed to mention is that when the object landed, 9 different individuals saw it.
Yep.
And they were about 300 to 400 feet away from it. So they were really, really close to this
Really fucking close.
And so you can get pretty good detail about 300 feet.
And to clarify, when you say 9 individuals, we're not saying only 9 people saw this and the military showed up. No, Local law enforcement, all them went out after. So other people saw the fucking thing up close. They
Correct.
were, like,
This was eyewitnesses in the moment. Of it
in the
happening.
moment of it going down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, 5 to 6
Camera.
p.m. Oh, sorry. 5 to 6 p.m., which is like where basically a teenager from the area, along with neighbors, walked into the ravine. They reported seeing a metallic craft partly embedded in the ground. Because it went down, bro. And this is what the descriptions included. Acorn, roughly 10 to 12 feet tall, bronze or potentially gold colored. They weren't sure if it was gold, but everyone agreed it was like, no, it's at least bronze.
Yeah.
The surface was completely smooth and seamless. Like no signs of rivets or welds or where two pieces of metal come together. Just seamless. But that's weird.
I wonder what would be the purpose of this thing.
No fucking idea, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. If it's like a message, I think of like a message in a bottle sort of concept.
What if it's just they're emptying out their septic tank?
It's just their poop.
And that's how they fertilize and grow planets. They drop them there. They're seeding the planet, dude.
Oh, it's a big acorn
That's
seed.
probably why the forest up there looks so awesome.
They should have just left it in the ground. Who knows what we would have got?
I would have terraformed the earth, and we could all been like basically Kryptonians. But here we are
Dang,
being
dude.
lame ass humans.
Stupid humans.
Stupid humans, dude. But no. So they said they all agreed at least bronze, smooth, seamless. So at the base of it, it's like a raised band with strange symbols. So think at the base of it like the digalacta concept, where you have the lip that's going around the whole base,
Like an acorn head, right?
like an acorn head, yeah. And they basically described an acorn upside down is what it sounds like, which is more like the digalacta.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, it's real. But the digalacta, from what I understood, was pretty fucking big.
Yeah, from like records and reading about it, like we have in the past.
Because there's actual blueprints.
It's
of it,
large,
like real authentic ones from
Correct.
back in the 40s, and I don't get why those don't get more spotlight.
Yeah.
Probably because it's giving out too much information.
And that it's Nazi based, and people frown upon Nazi talk.
Yeah, the Nazis, meh. You know what, dude? Hate the person, don't hate the tech.
Yeah,
Come
hate
on,
the
dude.
play, not the game.
Yeah, dude. That's cool. I take out all my frustrations on players and ARC Raiders, dude. All the time. Anyways, so they said a raised band with strange symbols described looking similar to hieroglyphics, Cyrillic-like shapes, mathematical symbols. That's what they all said. That like those are the three things that they could say like, hey, it kind of looked like one of those.
And these things weren't etched into the metal; they were raised lettering.
Yeah, and it says witness emphasized that these symbols were not in all caps, not English characters, and looked quite unfamiliar.
Yes.
Like they could not recognize shit on them. Now jump to 6 to 7 p.m. Fire department and the state police arrive. Volunteer firefighters responded to what was originally dispatched as a possible plane crash. Because that's what was they were like, hey, potentially a plane. Because they hear these reports coming in, they're like, shit, like get out there. Upon entering the woods, several firefighters saw the object before being ordered back. They were being ordered back. State police established a perimeter, and a cordon was created blocking all trails and roads. Firefighters later stated they were told to stop documenting the object and leave the area immediately. And then so was other law enforcement personnel. 8 p.m. U.S. military deployment. The military showed up.
Well, the fire chief was one of the first people on scene there.
Yeah.
His name was Fire Chief Robert Bittner. He even gave an affidavit about this before the military, before everything happened.
What is it?
Let me get the affidavit. I just looked up his obituary.
Okay, I'll keep reading while you're doing that.
Yeah.
So, so the U.S. military apparently showed up 8 p.m. Military and multiple. We're talking multiple. We're not talking about like 5 people. A lot of people, like well more than 5. We're talking like in double digits, like somewhere in the double digits. We're talking about like 20, maybe 30, 40, 50. Lots of witnesses.
Ooh, look at this.
Reported military trucks entering town, Air Force personnel taking control of the scene, a command post established near the woods, all civilians ordered to evacuate. Reporters were aggressively pushed back.
Yes. So, hey, I posted a link in the chat real quick over here. It has drawings and
This one?
yeah, it has drawings and depictions of what the device actually looked
Let me
like.
switch it.
and how it was removed away. So this is the guy's affidavit. I can't quite read it, but
Oh,
he
yeah,
even
it's
drew a
always-
picture of
Let
it.
me try to zoom it in. We're on a bigger screen. I just zoomed in so I could try to read it.
I'm
Says
very much aware of the Army uniforms, and it was the Army who made me leave, but it was after I saw the Army flatbed truck that had the object on it. It was uncovered when they drove it out of the woods, and I've seen many Army trucks. This has had a white star on the sides. I remember very clearly.
And that's what he drew right here, guys.
It says, "I will I swear on the Bible, and we'll take a lie detector test."
Yeah. Yours truly, Mr. Jerry Betters. Good for you, man. Speak out. But look at this image, everyone. This is what's described. This right here. And then this is the White House Chief of Staff under President Clinton, backs the Kecksburg Initiative. I don't know, that's just in there.
Just
but,
another resident.
yeah. But anyways, no, that's a dope.
There's more drawings if you go down as well. There's another really good one. It's a sketch on the right side. You'll see it in a second. Go down.
one.
More.
That was
That's
oh,
the
that's
guy
Hynek.
Yeah.
Blue Book. You said how far down was it?
Right. Keep going. It's right there.
Dude, that looks like the Diglocta. What the fuck?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It looks very similar to the Diglocta. Only the Diglocta and the ones I saw were cool because they had turrets on it and shit. Where's the MG42s, dude? Did they like just appear out of the raised lettering?
It just lifts up out of the side.
Yeah.
Smooth my ass.
Yeah, but apparently it was seamless. Like there was no like even at the curves and everything. Like
So if you read this, it's a sketch by Charles Hamna, right? Hamna of the Kecksburg object seen in a building in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Whoa.
So they held on to it and they were studying this thing.
They didn't even know what the fuck it was. Dude, I really am leaning towards that the things that we see before we keep continuing on. I really think I'm really nested in the area of a breakaway civilization at some point in time.
Yeah.
I that's what I think. Because
that's what the Hokie tribe members believe.
Because the thing is that every time they talk about the little green men, they just remind me of synths. No reproductive parts, have no capability of doing any of that stuff. They apparently don't like eat or fucking sleep, apparently, from the reports of them, from people who supposedly try to whistleblow and then suddenly died 24 hours later or 48 hours later or within a few days. And it's just like, man, who's to say these aren't like just advanced robotics? Look at what we're doing right now. We're on the verge of doing similar shit
Yes,
like
we
that.
are.
So it's like, what if this breakaway civilization isn't necessarily why that, like for instance, like the nuclear power plants, or not the power plants, but the nuclear silos getting powered on and off, like saying, hey, stop fucking off. Like the people are like, oh, they're trying to protect us. No, it's more of like self-preservation for themselves because it's like we're on this place too.
Well, that brings into a discussion that
There's somewhere
that they're planning on doing with Mars.
maybe they're helping us along to get us going again, not because like, hey, we love you guys, whatever. It's more of species survival because they are us. Just from a breakaway civilization, there's probably not that many of them.
Yeah, or there's not very many.
You can only breed so much before you start getting into the retardation pool.
Oh, as you said, like there's not. I heard that. That's funny. But as you mentioned, there's not. There may not be very many level 3 civilizations out there that exist. So if there is somebody on the precipice of getting there, why wouldn't you want to help them to then have more people to commune with? That's the. I like to think of the good in people, the good in society, the good in species. I like to. Typically, it doesn't happen. But if there is a large civilization that is beyond our comprehension, why wouldn't they want to help us to become a better society?
I don't know.
Other than that, we want to kill each other desperately here.
Yeah,
But
violence.
but
is
you
cool.
mentioned the synth concept of the little green man.
Yeah.
I am also leaning toward they are AI.
AI with
Concept.
some form of somewhat organical parts.
Correct. Because Elon has said many, many, many times that he's creating his humanoid robot to send to Mars ahead of us to build buildings for us before we get there.
That's smart.
So what's the difference?
Yeah,
If
it's fair.
we're playing in the space of the alien extraterrestrials that have been cited and spoken of and written down upon are synths and AI generated or robotics of some sort? What's the difference that what we're trying to do?
I mean, that's a fair perspective to take. But here's another one. But like, we talk about the concept of, like, for instance, bring up the domestic 12 or whatever. What was it called?
Domestic 12, majestic.
Majestic.
You were
sorry.
close.
I don't know why I said domestic. Majestic 12, right? The whole concept of this agreement that was made. And apparently the meeting that happened with Truman, I believe it was, where it was like this agreement was made for biology for tech. What if that's them just sending some tech?
Yeah.
Or what if it's actually not that? What if that's tech that they got and so off the books project had it and they were testing it? They were trying to, learn it ins and outs of it, and they crashed it, and then they went and retrieved.
Dude, I like that.
That's where my head goes sometimes, because it's like there's so many different like concepts out there that people have heard that, like everything from Majestic 12 to all of a sudden that it's a breakaway civilization.
Yes.
Well, if there's a breakaway civilization, and that's the thing, right? And they go off the narrative, oh, that's why they power up the things and shut it down, the nuclear silos, because they're like, hey, we're here too. We bailed out for a cataclysm event, and you're way behind us, and we're not integrating like that. But that then to me, that by default, that completely shuts down the Majestic 12 narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, which one is which? If you had to choose between two, like if that's the options, potentially, I would go with potentially the Majestic 12 because they would pick that shit up and go and hightail it out of there. I mean, I think they would do that either way, regardless. I don't know. It could go either way. I mean, it depends on what your perspective is on it, like on what you think. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to choose. It's splitting hairs.
So if we're arguing the fact that they are humanoid, if they're synth-based, robotic-based, that would explain why they are able to withstand gravitational G-force that humans cannot. Because they try to argue the fact that humans and other organic beings wouldn't be able to handle the G-force of 90-degree turns and lightning speed trajectory, but a synthetic body could.
That's true.
Because they're always arguing, well, there's a gravitational field within the ship. That skirts the argument of what these creatures actually are.
Yeah.
Because the argument needs to center around what they are. And if they keep going back to we don't know,
yeah,
then they need to find out what it is.
Yeah.
And I think the argument being that they're sentient robonauts is a good argument.
I mean,
it's a good thought. I like that.
It is. I don't know, man. It's hard. I don't know. There's no telling, and that's what drives me nuts.
Well, so that's what. Well,
but no, we've all gone into the space of spiritual enlightenment now, and they're light beings now, and
that's what makes this fun, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that we don't know, and that we're trying to figure out the most logical, fact-based concepts. If we start going off of feelings and emotions, then it's going to be lost, and we're never going to find a fact.
Nope,
we're never going to find the truth.
Bit. And that's why I'm convinced all the spiritual enlightenment stuff, for like when it comes to the aliens, is all literally just a psyop.
Yeah.
Oh, and not just a psyop, but people jumping on a monopoly train to exploit it and start their own little cult followings. There's so many people. There's so many big influencers and media outlets out there right now that's how they make their bread and butter, by talking about like the spiritual enlightenment, we're this thing, and and it's like, and they have like this massive cult following of like, yeah, I was meditating the other day and then this happened and blah blah. And it's like, no, meditation's a real thing. There's many different layers of this, but I don't think that's related to that completely.
Correct.
And you're just throwing it in there because what a better way for religion to segue in and hijack a movement that was getting too close by all of a sudden converting it into a religion.
Yep.
Because then once it's converted to a religion, well, that's man-made. And people stop believing it over the course of time, over a few centuries. So that will probably be the new thing that happens, and people will be not worshiping Jesus anymore, or whatever God that they choose to, whatever. And they're going to be worshiping balls of light.
Or they'll be worshiping...
Oh, cool, we're going back to paganism, apparently. Or worshiping the sun.
Or they'll be worshiping AI.
Or worshiping AI. Yeah, one of the two. I don't know, man. It's all ridiculous. but we probably should get back.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I just realized that we totally did not go back.
But it was a imperative discussion about the facts here, right? Like we got sidetracked based upon the argument of what this device could be used for.
Yeah.
So I think it was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
For all I know, I could be wrong about the spiritual alignment. Maybe that goes with it too to some degree.
Well, oh fuck, man, how dare you? Because meditation will bring you to that spiritual enlightenment concept.
Yep.
Hallucinogens will bring you to that spiritual enlightened concept. Deprivation chamber will have you meet these intergalactic beings.
That's just gonna force you in there. What are you talking about?
So we know, I know, you know that intergalactic light beings kind of do exist.
Yep, they do.
I mean, they did a 50-year study on them with the Gateway experience.
And I'm not
they
saying
exist.
they don't, but I don't think they're fully related to each other all the time.
I do not think that they're alien based.
Yep.
I do not think they're alien based.
Yep.
Having a sentient robot something or other isn't related to the
man. And the worst part is, it brings me, you talking about this right now, it just brings me back to Olivia James and some of the stuff she was talking about.
I know. I'm gonna rip their heads off.
She's like a hybrid of all of it put together in one.
So
all the way down, the parasites are really just
that brings up the discussion of different wavelengths of existence in different dimensions, right? You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th dimensions or whatever it is. So in that regard, there is several different dimensions that we can't even experience. Of course,
yeah, dude.
There's a high possibility that there's other sentient beings within those dimensions.
Yep.
That argument, that's mathematical, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah.
There's some sort of semblance behind all that.
There really is. I mean, you're not wrong.
Back to the Kecksburg.
Yeah. So anyways, we just talked about Homeboy seeing that's what it was. So we already went through the military was deployed, right? They said all the civilians were to back up. Reporters were pushed back, all that stuff. And we're talking about aggressively too.
Yep.
Like they weren't playing games. Armed guards posted on surrounding roads. Locals stated that no one was allowed near the ravine afterwards. Now, late in the evening, the object was apparently, that's when it was recovered.
Oh, but you failed to mention one thing that I love about this story.
What?
There's a firefighter named James Romanski who touched it.
He touched it
30 minutes after it landed. And he said it was cool to the touch.
That goes along with every single fucking UFO encounter that's basically ever fucking happened.
Exactly right. He touched it, said it was cool to the touch, not hot by any means. And if this thing was moving and created a crater or even impacted into the ground, it would be hot from friction.
Yeah.
Let alone the earth impact
Unless
friction.
it's made out of an alloy that one Navy SEAL guy was talking about that they got to mess with in the Iron Man project.
That's exactly
right.
right.
It was malleable and it could be exposed to extreme levels of heat and still be cool.
Yeah, that's future tech.
Yeah, they got that somehow from some element, or they figured out how to recreate something.
Yeah,
that they found, one of the two. But yeah. So what was it? The object got recovered.
Camera.
Multiple residents described seeing the military bring in large flatbed truck, a tarp, a crane, / some form of lifting device. They were like, some people were like, yeah, it looked like something that you use to pick stuff up, and they're describing a crane.
Yeah.
Some people just outright said, because they knew what a crane, because they worked in whatever field, and they were like, yo, that's a crane. But several witnesses claimed they saw the craft being removed, covered with canvas, and secured to the flatbed. The convoy allegedly left Kecksburg shortly after midnight, heading toward a base believed to be Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, because apparently this thing was it went down the highway, the one highway you have to fucking take to go to that. That's the closest, because the Air Force was there. That's who was there. They were going there, the Wright-Patterson Air Force
That
Base.
firefighter guy I mentioned, there's a video recording of him talking about it.
No shit.
I just posted it in the chat here. It's 5 minutes long. He calls himself Jim Romanski. That he talks about it for 5 minutes.
Okay, let me zoom this. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it.
Just full screen it, yeah?
Yeah, I'll full screen it.
That's gonna be
That's a bad idea. Let me just
test it, see what it looks like,
let me bring it over here like that. Let me switch it over.
We'll have to talk over it.
Oh, there we go. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Totally fine. All right. Let me unmute this real quick so we have the desktop audio, yo. All right. Let's go.
Well, first of all, we were in a field hunting for this downed aircraft, and the first rescue team already found it and radioed into the fire hall, gave the coordinates, and it was down in front of us, and we hightailed it out of our search area, went down into there, and we got there expecting a smashed up airplane. Wings, fuselage, etc. No such character. Came down through the woods, and here's this humongous piece of metal laying there. I mean, this thing I've described time and time again as a very large acorn-shaped object. The front of it, or I presume was the front of it, was pushed down into the dirt where the way it came in and landed after it took out the top of the trees and brush and everything coming in. Came back in an oblong shape. Around the bottom was what I call a bumper, and then the bottom was perfectly flat. No signs of propulsion or anything. There was no doors, no windows. There was no ways of getting in this thing, at least none that I seen. There was no seams on it, no rivets, nothing. The only thing I seen was this bumper around it, and it had these real strange markings on it, which I've often referred to as similar to the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. So, as a volunteer fireman, we did what we were supposed to do. Find the crash site, do a preliminary investigation for survivors or treat anybody with it, which we didn't because there was none that we could see. There was no way of getting in this object. The first team had already radioed in its position. We're there 10, 15 minutes all talking around, doing a preliminary search.
With great mustache comes great
I
responsibility.
believe because of his chops, dude.
I'm telling you, man, this guy looks like a trustworthy fella.
I trust him.
Look at that mustache, dude. Did that lie to you? That takes balls.
I bet you can smoke a brisket real good.
Oh, dude, and a cigar.
He's got a good taste in whiskey, too. I'm sure. He can drink a whole handle by himself. You want me to hit play?
Yeah, yeah.
Wondering what we discovered. Two gentlemen come down through the woods, trench coats on, ramrod stiff, crew cut. All right, this is a restricted area. You're now ordered to get out of here. Now, wait a minute, I'm a civilian. You ain't gonna order me nothing. But as a fireman, I'm being relieved from what I'm doing. So I got out of there. We're going out through the woods. We didn't go no more than 15, 20 feet. And I know from me to you, here come the military. Full uniforms, equipment, marching right down through the woods with flashlights. This is December. It's late in the evening, it's cold, it's wet.
How far away were you from a military base?
Well, the closest base that I knew of was Pittsburgh, which was approximately 45 miles to the west.
So within 15 minutes of your arrival at the site, the military was there?
You got it.
Okay, all right, all right. Now, what did they say to you after this happened? I mean, I know there were several members of the report I saw on Unsolved Mysteries, several members of the community were there, people, right? Other people that were part of the community were there and present, and were all told to leave.
There was no press or media at the immediate crash site. Mm-hmm. What I didn't know up on top of the hill, because I'd come in through the side, the military had taken over a farmhouse. I mean, from what I understand, military brass. They took over up there, did all their orders and whatever they were doing from up there, and that's where I presume that the military who came down through the woods came from. Because when we went out, we had to walk back to the fire hall, which was approximately the way we had to go, I'd say a good mile. But by the time we got back to the fire hall, it was wall-to-wall military. I mean, there was trucks and jeeps and cars. There was guards on the door.
Did anybody say to you, I don't want you talking about this, don't say a word about this, or were you, with that term, debriefed?
What they did, I mean, these people virtually told us just to shut up, get to your vehicles, and be quiet.
And you did what you were told?
One of the guys even asked the guards at the door, look, I got to go to the bathroom. Now, these guys are standing there with weapons. Whether they were loaded or not, I don't know. None of us was brave enough to try to find out. He said, I got to go to the bathroom. They said, see those weeds over there? Use them. Well, by that time, we just headed for the trucks. Let me ask you this. I have a daughter and a son that both went into the military within the last 2 or 3 years. One went in the Marine Corps, one went in the U.S. Air Force. My daughter come to me from the United States Marine Corps, and she said, Dad, your name come up on a computer as my father. I had to sign a statement saying I would never ask or request for any information from Kecksburg. My son had to sign 2 statements.
Oh, about you? About yourself?
Pardon?
Any information about yourself? You had to, your daughter had to sign a paper that says she would not ask for any information about you?
Not about me, but about
you
Kecksburg.
folks.
Because
Okay,
my
but what
name come
happened?
up as her father.
Okay, but you know what?
Then, no, wait a minute, Montel.
Okay.
Then my son in the U.S. Air Force had to sign 2 papers.
Well,
One,
Jim, wait, just jump to the chase, because
All right.
part of the chase here is the fact that I'm telling you, I had some of the highest clearances this country has to offer. I've been through files on
fuck
top
you.
of files
Yeah,
on top
exactly.
of files.
Shit.
I still ain't
Montel, my
seen
ass.
nothing yet.
But did you have a need to know?
but do you,
You didn't have
Yeah.
a need to know.
Yeah,
you
but
never need to
that's
know.
also
now,
not
my
true.
son goes in the Air Force, and they tell him he can't even request to go to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base for duty because I seen something, and that's where my UFO is sitting
Well,
today. Or I did
but wait a
was.
minute, maybe his MOS was something
I
that they
believe
didn't
him.
have a
Me too.
qualification for it, right, Patterson?
His MOS has nothing to do with it.
Okay, all right, hold on a
The
minute.
government is covering this up. They don't want no one to know. They don't want no one to get access to anything because they're afraid people will find out the truth. The technology. You was in this
Maybe.
already.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
With a man, with the father so adamant about this and willing to risk his
Oh, he didn't
reputation,
give a shit.
right?
No, he was going on about
but he's
it.
willing to risk his reputation.
Yeah.
That's another fine key of telling the truth.
Yep. Yeah, and the fact that these little panel people up here, and then Montel's trying to say, "Oh, I have the highest." No, you don't. You ain't got shit.
If
He's literally doing a script, not the guy, but
but if Montel does, he's a psyop to change the subject, to change the conversation.
yeah, because he was
to
trying to
muddy
make
the
him
water.
not, because he was getting into the nitty gritty
Yes, he
details,
was.
and he was trying to tell him to fucking stop.
Yeah.
He was doing what probably someone held up a cue card somewhere in the background, someone off screen, where the camera can't see, and was like, "Yo,
Shut him up.
shut him the fuck up." And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey man, like, look, I'm just trying to know, bitch. What you wanted to know is why he's here,
Yeah.
and you know that, and then to get the viewer, yeah."
And I
fuck
love
all
that he's yelling at these suits. He's like, "You threatened my children not to talk about Kecksburg.
Yeah,
Why can't his children look it up?"
yeah, that's fucking, yeah, dude, that's a good video. That's a good find. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, it's fantastic
That's a good
stuff.
fucking find. Damn, that's good shit. I had no idea about that.
Kecksburg happened.
Oh no, I believe it did. I didn't know that this video happened. Like him,
Yeah.
doing the thing. I'm glad it's on recording. No, that
This channel, Eyes on Cinema, gold for undisclosed UFO conversations and talk.
it's fantastic. I'm gonna have to go watch their shit.
Yeah, they have a lot of really good stuff.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you brought him up because, but to where we were, because we were talking about like, the object got recovered, right? So the Air Force stated the object was a meteor and that nothing was found. In full quotes, they said nothing was found. NASA later stated the object was likely a Soviet Cosmos 96 probe, but later contradicted itself, admitting in FOIA correspondence that the files documenting the investigation were missing or just destroyed.
Of course.
NASA's own FOIA response, this is in quotes. This is directly what was written in their FOIA response. The records of the Kecksburg incident were lost in the 1980s. Huh, interesting. When was that recorded? Oh, that was recorded in the 80s too, the video we were just watching.
Seems like it.
That was getting too much publicity, right? Coinkydink, I think. The next quote is, "We regret the inconvenience."
This was 1993, the video.
Yeah. What was that?
It was 1993.
Oh, well, shit. If only it was 1983. But no. So get this. The response was challenged super heavy since NASA historically preserves re-entry data meticulously.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently, I think it's funny because this isn't the first time NASA's done this. They just lose something. Because NASA, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to switch to.
Hi.
But NASA all of a sudden has every single piece of evidence and documentation on all these different things. But then the moment there's anything that's about a UFO,
Oh, we
Comes the
lost
question.
it. Oh, we
they just lost it.
it got destroyed. We don't know what
Interesting.
happened.
Now, to get this, so thousands reported the fireball, by the way.
Yeah.
Multiple independent witnesses saw acorn-shaped craft. Civilian and fire department witnesses described symbols on the object. The U.S. military did seal off the site. They know for a fact they did. That's documented that they did. A recovered object was seen by multiple residents being put on the flatbed truck. He wasn't the only one that saw it before it was tarped.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only one. There was many other people who saw the same thing. And then NASA was like, "Oh, we lost the document." And then the Cosmos 96 probe did not land in Pennsylvania per its own actual orbital decay path.
What?
They tried this. NASA tried to claim it was Cosmos 96
Oh, come on.
at first, but the thing is, but they already know where it landed. They've recovered it, and also it was not on that orbital decay path. It wasn't even close to that trajectory. Not even close. We're talking about like way off completely. Imagine the target's right here. The target's right here, orbital decay path. We know it's going to hit right here. Well, where it landed was not on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck them. They're fully full of shit. So yeah, But I know those were the two I was gonna go through, and then that's pretty much all I got.
Those are good. There's a lot of really
so
really
many
good
more.
ones in there. We'll touch on it again. Like I mentioned, there's
Yeah.
one in there that I really really liked. It's
Where is
it's
it?
case 9605. It's so well documented about another egg-shaped object with white flames and figures, and they found the individuals saw literally two figures in white overalls within the device too in this one.
Yeah.
It was in Socorro, New Mexico. His police officers talked about it. It's fascinating. It was in 1964. It's very cool.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's-
They
yeah.
even have
Yeah.
the release documents, and that's something we'll get into next time, where it's the decision logic table instructions for recording and handling visual information material. So basically, like, if an image of an actual UFO shows up on your desk, you lose it.
Yeah.
That's essentially, it's a guide for how to get rid of evidence. That's essentially what it is.
How to cover your tracks.
Yeah, and then there was another one in here I want to highlight just to call it out. The 1976 Iran incident. That was one of them, but there's a different one. I think it was. Where is it? I can't remember what it was. I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it later. But no, this is a very good book. If you're not familiar with the Black Vault, go check it out. But yeah, I wanted to talk about those two.
Cool.
They're fantastic.
That works.
Yeah, that's all I got.
We cutting it off?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Y'all have a wonderful week. We will see y'all next time. Thank you, Bubbalicious, for joining us like always.
Yeah.
Number one fan right there. We love you, buddy.
Yeah.
And if you have not yet purchased Ryan Sisko's book, you are missing out. R.A. Sisko is a good friend of ours.
Roots of the Ancestors.
I deeply recommend you going out of your way to find that book and read it. It's a fantastic, funny, and adventurous read.
There's even a
adventure.
character based on.
No, there's not. No,
You
it's
right
not
now.
based off of me.
You're
It-
Sonia.
It's got, oh, hell yeah.
You woke up one day and were like, damn, and then you just stare in the mirror after you get out of the shower.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for Dustin Beck for the use of the theme song, and over here, Smartly Uneducated. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it to all your friends. Take the time out of your life to comment. It really, really does help. And if you want to talk to us by any means, you can email us at smartlyuneducated@gmail.com. It is a real email. It's a very real email. Please reach out to us. We love talking to all of you. Leave a comment. If you hate us, leave a comment as long as you hate us. It doesn't matter.
And also tell us how we're not funny.
Yeah, please. But yeah, y'all have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time, huh?
Yep. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.